Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. I'm Anil Shah. We'll wait a couple more minutes for a few more people to join. We have a big audience today. So I will be back and we'll get started. Thank you. All right, so I guess we'll get started. I'm Anil Shah, Managing Partner at CloudFront Technologies. Today's session is focused on integrated field services solution using Field1 and Dynamics AX. So before we get started, a couple of housekeeping items. Everybody is muted. If you have any questions, you can type into the GoToMeeting chat session on the right-hand side, and we'll be answering those questions. And the webinar recording and the PowerPoint deck is going to be available tomorrow. So let's get started. Thank you for joining. All right. So quickly, a few things about CloudFront. We are 100% focused on Dynamics CRM, AX, Power BI, and Azure. We have clients across various industries, financial services, manufacturing, all the way to healthcare. We have certified experts on CRM, AX, field services, Scribe, and Azure. These are people who work across these technologies on various implementations, complex implementations. We do have a dedicated field services team. Some of the members will be meeting today. And one of our core expertise is delivering integrated solutions. These are solutions for today's day and age when we have different solutions that need to talk to each other. Integrated solutions are a key aspect of that. We are a Scribe Premier Partner, and then you can, of course, read more about us at cloudfronts.com. All right, so this is a list of some of our clients and partners. These are clients and partners. Clients around the globe and across various industries, from manufacturing to services. It's a quick overview of that. All right, so these are the list of the session presenters. Some of them will be talking on the session. Some of them will be answering your questions. Sunil Ding, he leads our AX functional practice. He's also a certified accountant. Sandeep Sav, he's an AX technical consultant, and he's also one of our FSA Scribe integration experts who's worked on several complex projects with regards to CRM and AX and FSA integrations. Yadnesh, he's one of our CRM technical consultants who's also on the call today. Sailesh Wath, he's our Field1 certified expert. Namendra is a manufacturing and field services subject matter expert. And then finally myself, Anil Shah, I'm a CRM expert, solution architect, and Scribe MVP. So we'll quickly go through the agenda for today. What is Field1 in Dynamics CRM 2016? We'll go through a quick overview of some of the features of Field1. We'll go through a quick review of AX 2012 R3. We'll go through a solution and entity flowchart, followed up with a solution demo, which is why all of us are here today. And then finally go through any questions. Of course, during the session, if you have any questions, you can always ask us in the GoToMeeting session and we'll respond to those. So what is Field1 Sky in Dynamics CRM? So Field1 Sky enables companies to deliver world-class customer experiences in the field, maximizing efficiency and minimizing costs. It is a complete FSA or field services automation solution within Dynamics CRM. It is built to work across different industries where they have requirements for field services, from healthcare, manufacturing to services. And the Field1 Sky solution is part of the CRM professional license. This happened after the acquisition of Field1 in July 2015. And this is a huge deal because most of us who use CRM with our professional license, we already have access to Field 1 and the Field 1 mobility client. So this is by no means a complete overview of all the features, but we'll go through a lot of the things that we've touched upon as we've done Field 1 integrations and Field 1 projects. Our complete work order management is one of the key things in Field 1 Sky, which means that for your install orders, calibration orders, maintenance orders, all of those can be easily managed within Field 1 Sky. Full customer service equipment by location. By location is a key word for field service people, as we are always keen on understanding where our equipment is deployed. So we need to know when it needs to be next serviced. A well-designed schedulers drag and drop dashboard with ability to see service territories, to ability to see resources who are in those territories and quickly drag and drop orders. A lot of this we'll see today. Mobility with offline capabilities. So there's a mobile client specifically designed for Field 1, which is going to be used typically by the field service engineers who need offline capability, who need mobility, and who don't always need to be accessing Dynamics CRM. So Dynamics CRM is a fully integrated solution. So it's so now all the way from sales to field services, you have a single solution that does everything for you. If you have service agreements, so you have SLA service agreements, you need to auto schedule the next work order. So all of that is also built into Field 1. For organizations who want to use the full warehouse and inventory management within CRM, Field 1 also provides that option. For larger organizations who are using technologies like AX, this can be accomplished through the integration, and we'll talk about that today. And it's customizable for the right fit. So we'll show some of the things we've customized for some of our clients within Field 1. And finally, reporting and BI, of course, is central to any solution today. To read more, there are several additional features that we haven't even covered today because we don't have enough time, but you can always go to field1.com. Over to you, Sunil.
Yep. So coming to Dynamics AX. Dynamics AX is a ERP solution that is simple to learn and easy to use, which can deliver value further, take advantage of business opportunities. The management can take a good decision with the confidence with the using of Dynamics AX. The modules of AX contains financial management, manufacturing, sales marketing, project accounting, supply chain management, human resource management, service management, BI and reporting, compliance management, collaborative workspace, mobility. So moving to the next slide.
All right. So this is a solution entity flowchart. This is again by no means know all or a set way of doing things, but this is what we've accomplished for some of our clients, and this is what is something that we use for our clients. So on the left-hand side, we see Field 1 CRM. On the right-hand side, we see Dynamics AX. And in the middle, we have the Scribe integration platform, which is driving this integrated solution. So I'll quickly walk through the entities here. We have customers and service locations in a bi-directional integration. We have sales orders coming in from AX. You could easily have sales orders going from CRM into AX. But in this case, we've taken an example where you are having a CPQ engine which is driving the quotes into orders, and that those orders are directly into AX. So they're coming in from AX. We have installation orders, so it's the first time you sell an equipment, it needs to be installed. Those are coming in from AX through the integration platform into CRM. We have projects coming in from AX into CRM. And then we have maintenance orders and transfer orders, both going from CRM to AX. Your transfer orders are basically back order or parts requirements from your field service technicians. And then finally, we have products or items integrated, created, and updated from AX to CRM. So now we're going to go to the solution demo. So I'm going to hand over to Sunil.
Yep. So first of all, the brief introduction about the company. The company name is Contoso Entertainment. It's a leading American premium brand of home appliances. The company basically deals with the selling and installation of the home appliances. The customer after sales service, the customer satisfaction plays a very important role for their brand recognition in the market. And for that customer satisfaction, the after sales service plays a very important role in their business process. So moving to the next slide. the case one. The first case is a customer for this company is in requirement of an air conditioner. The customer is an existing customer, so he raises a purchase order for this air conditioner. So we'll show you just a flow chart how it will work. So we'll generate a sales order in AX. Based on the sales order, a service order will be created in AX as well as in field 1 when we click on the create installation order, and then we'll post a packing slip for delivering of this customer equipment. So this process I will just show you in AX how it will work.
So while Sunil is logging on to AX, I think he's having some connectivity issues. So we'll just give him a second to open up his AX. Sharing has stopped. All right, so let Sunil log into AX. So this is going to be the first step of the process. So we start with creation of a sales order. And once the sales order is created, we'll show you some of the customizations we've done inside of AX to move that sales order into CRM along with the service order creation process. So with that, I'll hand over to Sunil.
Yep. So we have opened the Microsoft Dynamics AX. These all are the modules available in AX. So we'll just quickly move to the sales order thing. We'll create one sales order. Okay. New sales order. We'll select one customer. Suppose the customer is Aegon. Okay. Other things like the purchase order number which we received from the customer, like PO. Okay. And the site warehouse from which we'll be delivering this air conditioner to the customer. So I just press OK. A new sales order is created. Now I will select the item which I will be selling to this customer. So the item name is Triangle Inverter Split AC 1.5 tons. The customer is in requirement of only one unit. So I've selected only one unit. We'll give us some price for this product. Then I will add some more items like the parts required for this air conditioner installation, like some piping and all that things. So I'm just entering some more parts. So I've added one pipe and one switch to this sales order, which will require in the installation thing. And the important thing here is we have customized these two fields. One is project ID and other is service location. Project ID is important. The reason being in AX, for creation of service order, there is a mandatory requirement to link that service order with project. That's why the project ID is important here. So we'll select one project, project like installation, because we'll be installing that air conditioner on the customer location, and service location where this air conditioner will be installed. So we'll select these two things. Both the fields are customized, and when we save this sales order, a create service order button, which is also a customized thing, gets activated. So when I click on this create service order, info log comes that service order header created in AX and it has been integrated to field 1. Okay. And one more thing is important is I have to select a serial number. The serial number basically for all the customer equipment, we have to have one serial number. So I'm selecting one serial number that I'm selling this serial number item to this customer. Once this is done, I'm just confirming this sales order.
So go ahead, Sunil. So what we've done so far is we've created a sales order. There are some customizations we've done. A couple of things to note. We selected a project. So a project is a requirement in AX. Every time you create a service order, you need a project associated with it. So the system has taken care of ensuring that every time a customer comes over from CRM through the Scribe integration, the projects are automatically created in that legal entity. And then whenever the service location comes up from CRM, it creates the service location ID here in AX. And then when we click the service order button here, two things happen. The service order header is created. which is sent across to CRM as a work order. And then we've also created a sales order from CRM to AX. So all of that information processes in near real time. So in this case, the sales order, we've run a batch process for the sales order, which takes the sales order, moves it across to CRM, and then it at the same time creates the service order. The reason for this integration is to ensure that our sales team and our service team within Field 1 and within CRM have full understanding of that, where the service order came from, and the sales team can see their sales orders and see the corresponding service orders that came out of that. So it's kind of giving a full solution within Dynamics CRM. So what we can do here is move on to look at the service order as it looks in AX.
Yep. So once the sales order is done, now we'll go to the service order in AX first. So it is available in service management module, service order. So a service order is created here. We can just see this. So some important fields like the customer name, the project ID, the service location ID, and the PO number comes here. This field 1 work order ID is the ID which will come from field 1 when the service order gets integrated into field 1. So just a reference between this service order and the service order in field 1.
We also see that there are no line items here because as of now we've only sent across the sales order into CRM, and we've said just create the service order header, create that into CRM or create that into field 1, and then the next step would be when the equipment reaches the client site, that's when the next trigger happens in AX to actually send over that equipment into CRM. So ideally what will happen here is in near real time, the service order got created through the integration platform, went into CRM, and then it would bring back the field 1 work order ID inside of AX. So let's go ahead and refresh the screen. We're now seeing that the field 1 work order ID has come in from CRM into AX. Over to you, Sunil.
So the field 1 work order has came. Now we'll move to the field 1 in CRM to see the service order is created there or not. We'll just refresh the screen here to check. Okay. So the number 27 service order is created in the field 1. We'll just go inside it.
So this is the install order. We'll wait for the screen to pop up. The install order, and you're looking into CRM 2016 Online, by the way, as field 1 currently works only with CRM 2016 Online. So we're looking at service order number 00027. I'll briefly explain this form, which by the way can be customized, but we've customized, sort of for our requirements. On the top right-hand side, we are seeing a bunch of fields. We're seeing the service location ID from AX. We are seeing the system status, which is open and unscheduled. This status will keep changing throughout the process as the service order moves from unscheduled and all the other stages. So we'll keep talking about the status. And then finally, there's an approval button, which is currently set to no, but at the end of the service order process, we'll see how the scheduler works across this to yes, and then how that goes back to AX. On the left-hand side, in the summary tab, we see a bunch of information. We see the service order number. We see a field called company structure. That's a customization we've done to accommodate the fact that our client has multiple legal AX entities, but they have only a single CRM entity or a single CRM system. It has a service account associated with it. It has service location. And then right below that, we see the service territory. So the service territory is important. It defines which territory this work order is assigned to, which territory the equipment is for, and then our service technicians are also part of territories. They get assigned, if you're working on the West Coast in US, you're not going to be assigned to deploy something in Florida. You're going to be assigned to deploy something on the West Coast. So that's your service territory. And schedulers also work within their respective territories. We'll scroll down further down this form. We'll see some more settings. This is basically information that is going back and forth between AX and CRM. Through the integration, we'll scroll further down. We'll see address details, and then we'll see service objects. Service objects is basically an association of the equipment with the service order. So we know that this equipment needs to be serviced. So at this point, the equipment has still not been integrated into field one. So we'll go back into AX at this point. Over to you, Sunil.
Yep. So we'll just now post the packing slip. So packing slip is ensuring that the goods are being delivered to the customer. So we'll again go back to the sales order thing. Going to the sales order, the last sales order. We'll do the posting of packing slip and we are posting it. So once this is posted, this ensures that this equipment is being delivered to the customer.
So the posting of the packing slip, as Sunil explained, for a lot of us non-AX folks, posting is a fun word to learn the first time you're starting to use AX. But all it means in this case is that the posting has happened, and in this case, the equipment is reaching or has reached the client site, which is a trigger for the integration to say, okay, now I'm going to get this equipment from AX using the Scribe integration into my FSA. So I'll end up seeing two things in FSA. Number one, I'll see the customer equipment, and then number two, I'll see it's associated with the service order as a service object. So we'll jump into CRM and we'll look at customer equipments. So let's go into Field One Sky. And we'll just go ahead and open up an existing customer equipment while we wait for our equipment to integrate. So a customer equipment has a good amount of information on it. Most of it is locked, as you can see. On the left-hand side, under the General tab, you're seeing the name, the account that the equipment is for, the service location. One of the most critical fields is the service location. It's the association with the product from AX. Of course, it's service territory. And then if we scroll down further, we'll see that it should also bring across the serial order number. In this case, this particular equipment didn't have it, but in our case, when our equipment comes through, we should be able to look at the serial number. So let's go back into customer equipment or let's go back into the service order, and let's see for our order, which was 00027, if our equipment has come in and if it's created the service object. So there we go. We have our equipment. Couple of things to note on the form. So we'll go ahead and quickly open this particular service object. So we are into the third concept. We talked about orders, we talked about customer equipment, and now the association of that equipment with the service order is the service object. So we'll see that this shows the service order association and which service location, which account, and then which customer point. Really, we are all set and we have all the information we need. So in this case, I'm logged in as Alan Matthew, who is basically the scheduler at Contoso. So we'll go ahead and now go into his schedule board. So while the schedule board loads up, if there are any questions, please go ahead. We will be answering those as they come along. All right, so this is a schedule board that's coming up. It should now be visible on your screens. Few things to note on this schedule board. At the very top, we see the initial public view, which is everything, and next to it are the service territories or regions. On the left-hand side, we see the resources in the organization. In the middle section, we see all the work orders with different color coding. The blue ones are unscheduled, the green ones are completed, and at the very bottom, we see the unscheduled work orders. So we'll take a look at Alan Matthew, who is a coordinator or a scheduler in the R3 region. So we'll go ahead and click on R3. What this does is further refines the view for Alan Matthew to look at technicians who work in his region and to only worry about his unscheduled orders. So if you look at the unscheduled orders, you will see that they are for regions R3 only. So let's take our order 00027 and pop it onto our technician, Justin Robinson's schedule. All right, so it looks like it's on a schedule. If you look at the space that work order takes up, then you see that it's basically a predetermined time. For us, it is 8 hours, but it could be different for different services that you offer. So it doesn't have to be preset. but it's blue color and basically means that it is unscheduled. It's at this point, its status has changed from unscheduled to scheduled. So let's log in as Justin Robinson into the mobile client for field 1 to look at what we need to do next. All right, so we're onto the mobile client, which is basically a RESTCO mobile client specifically customized for field services. So you're only seeing a very limited set of things here. We've in fact stripped out a few things to only show service orders and completed service orders. At the very top left-hand side, we see the company name. In the middle section, we see all the entities, service orders mainly. And on the right-hand side, we see a lighted screen. All that means is that we are connected to the internet. The technician has the option to work in a connected format or in a non-connected format. Hit OK. So let's go ahead and click on the service order. So this should now load up our service orders. We'll wait a couple of minutes, and in this case we are seeing our service order come up 00027. So Justin Robinson is going to say, okay, let me go ahead and click on that, and assuming that he's already reached the client site, I'm going to go ahead and start working on it. So this screen is important. So on this screen we are seeing that he's looking at his work order schedule, so he's going to change the system status from scheduled to in progress. And then he's going to put in an actual arrival time. So while we change the actual arrival time, a couple of things have happened so far. The system status, which is in progress, means that our work order status has gone from unscheduled, then it has gone to scheduled, and now it has gone to in progress. So let's go ahead and again click on open that. At the very bottom, we see a few things. So let's go ahead and click on some of those icons at the bottom. On the left-hand side, we see the info icon. So if you click on the info icon, it'll just show us the information about that particular order. And then right next to it, we're seeing the, oh, it looks like it's going through a sync right now. It's gone through the sync. Okay. So this just shows us the info about the particular work order. Next to it, there's an equipments tab, which will basically show us all the equipments that the technician needs to install. In this case, there's a single AC. And then finally, you'll have items and notes, which we'll get to in a second. So now let's go ahead and start working on this order. So let's assume that Justin Robinson has been working on it and he's ready to complete this work order. A couple of things he'll do now. He's going to go ahead and add his items or spare parts that he's used in this system. So let's go ahead and add some items here. So we'll click on the plus sign. So this is basically some spare parts that you might add when you're doing some repairs or you need to add as part of your assembly that you're doing at the client site. But they do need to be tracked back inside of the work order and then sent over to AX to the integration. So let's go ahead and save this. So we've added one item. Before the technician wraps up, he will enter some notes. So let us save this and then go ahead and enter a few notes here. Great. So we'll go back and we'll go ahead and enter some notes. So just give it a second. And so he's in his report and he's going to write some notes in his report. So let's go ahead and take some notes down. These notes are important. All field service technicians know that they're going to track these notes and these are going to go into their report that eventually is available to their scheduler to go ahead and approve it. So we'll go ahead and save this. At this point, we've done a few things. We have gone ahead and added some notes. The technician has gone ahead and added some parts. He should now be ready to go ahead and complete his work order. So far, so good. So we're just going to wait for this to sync up, and once it's done syncing, we'll move along. So if anybody has any questions, please let us know. But what you're seeing now is the mobile client available from a laptop, but it's also the same mobile client the technician could be using from within his mobile device. So if he's using a Surface tablet, if he's using an iPhone, if he's using an Android phone, and if he's really curious, or if he's using any other device, he's okay, and he should be okay to move on and complete his work. So we've gone ahead and marked an end time, and the final thing to do for Justin Robinson is to mark the status as completed, and he's going to go ahead and save it. So several things have happened here. The status has moved from scheduled to completed. We are connected to the internet, so it's going to sync up in real time back into CRM or back into FSA. So let's go back into FSA. And we're going to go ahead and refresh our scheduler's dashboard. We're going to look at our order 0027. We can see that that order is now completed. And so it turns green. So now the scheduler, Alan Matthew, is going to go ahead and review that work order before he can mark it as complete. Right, so let's go back into 00027. So at the very top, we see that the status is open and completed. It is still not approved. The next thing he wants to do is he wants to run his report. So let's go ahead and run the report. And that report is the field service report. So typically a report looks like your standard report. It has a bunch of stuff on it, along with the notes that are entered by the technician. So let the report load up. So this is a standard report, and if we scroll down, we see that the service order technician notes have also appeared. All looks good, and the scheduler is happy. He needs to look at the items that are added. So he's going to scroll down. He can use the tabs to scroll down to serve items. So you can see that the item came through. He does need to modify the cost, but the cost is showing as 0. Let's double click and open that. And let's go ahead and change the cost. Great. So we're going to go ahead and save it. And then we're going to add a couple of service charges. So we're going to go ahead and add the service charges. So let's again go all the way down into services and quickly add through the quick create forms a couple of service charges. One is the freight charges. Let's go ahead and enter some values there. The next one is going to be some travel charges. Considering oil is so cheap, I'm assuming we are charging nothing for travel charges now. But in this case, we'll still go ahead and charge with the mileage rates or whatever we have. So we added 2 service charges. We've added 1 spare part, and the scheduler is happy. Everything looks good to schedule the next step, which is sending it over into AX. So he's going to go ahead and set the approval to yes. And then at that point, you can mark it as saved. And what this is going to do is this is going to take the service order, send it to the integration layer on Scribe, and move it across into AX in near real time. It takes a few seconds, but before we jump back into AX, I'll recap so far what we've touched upon. We started with a sales order in AX. We added the project and location. We converted it to a service order. When we did that, it sent over the sales order and the service order header from AX into our CRM. The service order header came into CRM, we checked it, we went back into AX and posted that sales order, which meant the equipment has reached our client side. That triggered the integration back into CRM or into Field 1 to send the customer equipment, and then also associate the customer equipment as a service object into the sales or into the service order. We went ahead and scheduled that, so that changed the status to scheduled. And then we went ahead and assigned it to the technician who logged into his mobile client in an online mode. He could have done the same thing in an offline mode. And he went ahead and added some items, added his notes, finished his work. That came back into Field 1. We added a couple of services. We changed the item cost. And now the approver has just marked it as yes. So at this point, we should be able to jump into AX. So let's go into AX. And the final step of the process would now be to mark that service order as invoice. So Sunil, I'll let you talk about that.
Yep. So now we'll go to the service management. The service orders was already created. So we'll just check the service cost and the item, whether it has came or not. Yep. So the freight charges and travel charges which we entered has came, and the item which we used it also came with the sales price. So the next step would be to invoicing it. So what we do is we just edit this service order, we'll put it as sign-offs. Okay, and do the posting. So a customer invoice will be raised and it is posted. So journal has been posted. Okay, so now it will again go back to the field 1 with the status as posted. This will actually bring a customer's liability from accounting perspective. The customer's liability has been increased because of this posting. So now we again move to field 1.
So we're back into field 1. We're going to go ahead and I guess refresh this order. We'll quickly look at the system status. Should now, either now in a couple of seconds, should change to closed and posted, which is kind of completing the whole loop. So right now we are seeing the status is still open and completed. It is going through the integration process at this point and bringing over that status back into field 1 here. But this is the entire process that goes end to end. So the next thing we're going to do now is we'll go into our PowerPoint deck again and just walk through the next steps.
So now the case 2. In this case, now there is some issue with the air conditioner which the customer has purchased. So now the customer will be calling to our customer care center that I am facing some issues with this. So a customer call log will be generated in CRM, and from that call log a service order will be created in field 1, and that will be integrated to AX. Now it's vice versa. In the first case it was a service order is generated in AX and gone to CRM. Now it is vice versa. The field service order is created in CRM and coming to AX. So just a flow chart that a customer calls a customer care, and the customer care based on the call creates a call log, and based on this separate other process flows. So now going to the CRM thing.
So we're back into CRM. So we see that the previous order is now closed and posted. So now let's go ahead and go into a call log. So what is a call log? So this is again a customization from our side. So we've had customers who said that, hey, we have sometimes you have emails come in, sometimes you have our customers call in, typically for urgent issues or for any standard issue that they require a servicing. So we said we created a call log entity which allows for collecting all the information for that particular requirement, adding equipments to it, and then with a click of button, creating that service order automatically. So let's go ahead and create our call log. All right, so this is the call log entity, the customization from our side. So we go ahead and select the service order type as repair. We're going to select a company structure. Again, this is related to AX. We want to make sure it goes to the service order is created for the right AX legal entity. We're going to go ahead and select our account as Aegon USA. We're going to go ahead and select our service location, and we're going to scroll further down, and we just see a bunch of information here. We'll select who the caller is. So let's go ahead and select our caller, Sachin D'Souza, and then at this point we're going to go ahead and save the call log. The next thing we want to do from the call log is add equipment. So we are into the service object information section. So I'll walk you through a few things we have here. It's actually quite well set up. So the first option is add multiple customer equipment. So a no or yes means that we can actually go ahead and add specific equipments. The second option is maintenance from and maintenance to date. So let's say if I have 10 air conditioner installed at the Microsoft office in New York, and based on the maintenance date range, I could actually particularly it would bring up only those equipments or air conditioners that need to be repaired. The next one is add all, meaning that, hey, I did all the installations at the same time. It's a small company. I'm just going to add all the equipment every time I go there so I can service each one of them and wrap up the work. And then finally, the last option is actually to select a specific equipment. So in our case, we're going to go ahead and actually select the first option, which is we have a bunch of items installed, but we want to select a specific one. So at the top, it tells us that to save the record, we've saved the record, and now it is going to allow us to walk through the next customization, which is adding specific customer equipment. So this is something that we've developed, and now we'll go ahead and add a couple of equipments that have been, or a couple of air conditioners that we've been deployed at Aegon USA. So we'll give it a couple of seconds to pop over all the equipments that have been deployed at this customer. So while it loads up, what this is doing is this is opening a custom screen, bringing back all the customer equipment into this particular call log, and then once it appears in the call log, we're going to select specific ones that we care about, and then we're going to go ahead and add them into this particular call log. So maybe Sunil can refresh the screen again. So why don't we go and reopen the call log? Correct. So I'm just going to go ahead and reopen the call log and see if we can quickly add those multiple equipments again. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our multiple equipments. Hopefully it should pop open fast at this point. So good. So we're going to select a couple of items here. And once we select them, we hit save. Once we hit save, it will give us a message that these items have been added. And once these items are added successfully, we'll go back to the call log. So we're back in the call log. At this point, we have an option to create a service order. So what this does is takes over all this information and creates a service order for us. So we're going to now go into service orders. Great. So we have our service order, the 00028. We're going to quickly look at that, and we're going to see our equipment should be there, all our information should be there. So this is kind of a nice way to allow you to quickly create a service order from a call log, which is a standard scenario in field services companies, and it automatically does all the rest of the information handling and everything to get your service order ready. So this particular order, we are not now going to walk, we're basically kind of going to walk through the same process here, so we're not going to go into that again. But from here on, it goes into the schedule board. The scheduler schedules it, sends it over to the service guy, who's going to open it up in his mobile client, and that process we just walked through. So over to you, Sunil.
Yep. So what we have seen from a customer call log, the call is logged, the service order is created, and then the technician, all the same process follows, and the last thing is when we invoice it, a status goes. So this was the full process for this case. Now we'll go to the third case. Our third case is such that the technician fall a deficit of some inventory in his van. So what it does, it just informs the coordinator that I have a deficit of this particular inventory. So just move it to the flow chart that the technician checks the inventory. Once the inventory is checked, if the inventory is sufficient, there is nothing to do. If there is no sufficient inventory, technician informs the coordinator about the deficit. So once the deficit is informed, the coordinator creates a transfer order in field 1. So we'll just walk you through the field 1, how a transfer order is created in the field 1 thing.
So again, Sunil is going to open up the transfer order process, but this again is going to leverage our integration platform to send that across into AX and create the transfer order in AX and actually have that items delivered. So go ahead, Sandeep. Go ahead, Sunil. So Sunil is going to start with a new transfer order, and as I said before, for clients who are smaller, they might end up just using transfer orders within CRM. For most organizations, they do have some sort of ERP that handles the warehousing side of the business. So he's going to go ahead and select a source warehouse, the warehouse, and the transfer and the destination. So the source warehouse is typically your main warehouse, and the destination warehouse is typically the van that is with the technician. And this is also integrated with AX. So the transfer order is created in AX, and then at this point, we're going to go ahead and add the product that need to be part of this particular transfer order, or the part that is being requested by the technician. So let's go ahead and add one part to it, or one product to it. Great. So we've added one product. We've added how many units are needed, but what the unit is, and what quantity is needed here. Just going to go ahead and save and close that. Great. So at this point, the request should now move across. There's going to be some description we can enter here if we need to. And then once you go ahead and enter the description and save the form. Great. So this now triggers integration back into AX, and what it will do is it will go into the warehouse and it will take that inventory and basically create a transfer order. That creation of the transfer order will then have different statuses to itself. For example, the next step would be to ship that transfer order, and then that would update back your field one through the Scribe integration. So let's go ahead and jump back into AX at this point to look at our transfer orders. It should have come. So we'll give it a second. But in the meanwhile, if anybody has any questions, please go ahead and let us know. So let's go into AX.
So I'm just opening the transfer order. It's in inventory management, transfer orders. So a transfer order is created, the transfer order 21 with this inventory with two quantity. The status right now it is created. So I will just post it to ship. So this is the process of a warehouse person. Warehouse person will see the transfer order in his transfer order list. He will check the inventory and will just ship this product to the van. So I'm just posting it. So it has been posted, the status here is shipped. So now in field 1 again the status will come as shipped. That means the technician there will get an information that this product which he was required has been shipped from the warehouse. So going back to field 1, and there is one more status in transfer order to receive it. So there are three steps in transfer order. One is created. So when the transfer order is created, and then when the warehouse person ship it, the status is shipped, and when the person received it, the status changed to received. So I'm going to the CRM again, and I'm just refreshing it to see whether the statuses came here.
So we'll give it a couple of seconds for the status to come across into CRM. This particular status should update. So this is kind of the whole process. So for example, this transfer order was the one that Sunil updated, and its status has changed to shipped. There's one more final status. So all of this is kind of happening in near real time with the integration platform in the middle, allowing us to have an integrated solution across two very critical line of business systems. So Sunil, over to you.
So transfer order is created in AX, and then we shipped it and the status is updated. So this flowchart is also completed. Okay.
So this brings us to the end of the presentation. I hope the processes that we showed provided good understanding to a lot of people on the call today. We have people from Microsoft, we have people from Scribe, we have some of our prospects on the call today to understand how an integrated solution would work. With Field 1, with CRM, and the ERP on the other side, could be AX, could be GP, could be NAV, whatever ERP works for you guys. But an integrated solution is critical in today's day and age, so that we don't have to do a lot of manual intervention, and the tools are available, and the products are available, and they work well together. So with that, we're going to go to the last slide of today's session. Even the last slide has some more information. So coming soon in May 2016 is an integrated solution for the latest and greatest bells and whistles products, Dynamics AX7 and Field 1. So we've already started working with it. We're going to leverage the Scribe online solution for it, and the initial work has started, and expect an invite from us soon for this integrated solution to be scheduled for early or mid-May. If anybody doesn't have any questions, we're going to go ahead and wait for a couple more minutes before we wrap up the sessions. I want to thank people who attended the session today. Thank you so much for your time. I hope we've added value to our team today for being on the call today, for preparing well, and of course to our clients, some of whom are on the call today as well, that it is because of them that we have a deep understanding of field services, and now as we go deeper and deeper into field services across various verticals, we're able to deliver robust, integrated solutions with ERP, AX, and Field One. All right, so with that said, thank you so much, everyone. You guys have a great day ahead, and we will talk to you soon. Goodbye.